Alrighty, gentlemen. We're starting halfway down the driveway because we're going down to that property line. That's marked by the gate and then kind of a fence across there. One corner is straight over there, about 100 yards, and the other one's to the right. In the center line of the creek, we'll see that, so you'll get an idea of this is like the bottom flat side of the property line when you see the maps. So there's a path that runs over there where Clyde is. And continues down this way. That's a driveway looking up there about a mile, a little less than a mile to the closest street, which is Green Level Road. The angle of the driveway makes this property line seem kind of weird. But it is a straight line that runs, I don't know how many 1,000 yards, but I can look on the map. I've got a good plot. We came in from the driveway down closer to the water, to the corner. These couple things are good landmarks because we'll see them from the other side of the water. And they'll be inaccessible. I'm not sure what kind of bird that's supposed to be, but he symbolizes something, I think. That's the Aquitaine Creek. I need to get some yard equipment out here and do some caretaking before it gets overgrown. There's Beaver Dam down there. Oh, that's not a beaver dam. That's downstream from the creek from here. The beaver dam's over this way. That's the point over there. From that point, we will look back here and realize that we can't get back over here without backtracking, because it's a giant loop over there that you can't come back from. And here is bridge number 2. See a bunch of these little tributaries come together to form the creek here, and there's no real mapping of those. But when the zombies come, I believe this will be very easy land to defend. We're at the lowest elevation of the property here at about 32 feet. Some of the interesting trees of note that I see here also had caught the interest of the previous owners who had placed these placards there saying the type of tree, making their own kind of little arboretum here. And she did something with birds also, but the birds here are pretty incredible. But that tree is like the gatekeeper here to this part of the property. It stands out pretty well. See how the paths are becoming overgrown. That's going to be like a task, but not a hard task. Continuing along the bank. It almost looks like a movie set back here sometimes. And even the sounds and the smells, I wish I could describe how rich. So in this area, my property does not actually touch any road. The driveway, which I use to get 1 mile outside to the closest road, is actually the joining point of 2 other people's piece of property that on that line I have a right of way. So I am like an island. And touching on my island are all of these other vacant pieces of property that amount to like 700 or 800 acres. But my 60 acres is dead in the middle of them, and they all touch on it. Each hour of each day is different here. The shadows, how things get saturated when it rains just a little bit. The seasons change weekly. Things don't look the same for very long. It's very cool to watch if you take it in. This is the bridge of no return. Now that I've crossed that bridge, the only way back home is to go over the bridge again. Everything on this side of that bridge is a loop, as I described before. race to the top with these guys. So this is the creek that is the actual boundary of the property. And this is the one we saw down near that bird thing, the wooden bird thing, and the bench. This is the same waterway that passes that way. And we'll walk down there and turn around because I pointed out kind of the peninsula nature of it. Where's my dudes? Blinds. There's several of them around here. Some of them broken down. None of them look usable. I still like the idea of putting some wildlife cams out here, especially where the beavers are concerned. Beaver dam we saw from the other side when we first came in. There we are. Well, it's not too bad as far as the water levels on each side. The ones we'll see farther upstream, boy, they've got like 2 or 3 feet different water levels. Coming down to the little peninsula area. We're right across the way. We can see that bird thing. And that, let's see. And the bridges. There's the second bridge right there. And the first bridge is over there. And there's the bench. But we can't get over there. Well, properly. Bonnie hates when I double back. She's like, I could have waited. I could have stayed there. Look at a character on some of these trees. This is the connection area where if we turn right here, we'll go back over the Bridge of Last Resort. But we don't want to do that yet. We want to go up to the north side of this loop. Bless you, lady. See, Bonnie was not supposed to be accompanying us. This is beautiful. This is like Wonderland right here. Need to build a platform or something. What it really needs is a Starbucks or a Stop and Go. This is an area of tree violence. Looks like a battle. Look at that. Lightning strike. Parts cut off on the battlefield. That's pretty fresh too, actually. All the splintered stuff, all the chopped stuff, all the burned stuff. And then you look at these two trees still standing here, and this is what I call King Kong versus Godzilla. They're like intertwined with each other and struggling. It looks like a battle. That's the backside of King Kong versus Godzilla. Liam, I think your kids are getting old enough to enjoy stuff like this. I have cheap family rates. There's a wannabe beaver dam there. I could hear them sometimes before I see them. There's a whole bunch of wild turkeys over there last week when I was here. Holy tree. I know. I don't do that in public. You think RJ and Lucy would behave themselves in something like this? It's really flipped the switch for Clyde. Yeah, this is a monster beaver dam. You can hear this one. You can see that it's at least a 1 foot difference, maybe 1 or 2 feet between that upstream side and the downstream side. You get a few of those in a row and it backs everything up, and you've got 10 acres of mush. Look at this tree, how warty it is. There's one on the other side of the property that I've recognized before. I'm going to name this tree after Kiera. You know that was a joke. I run into these paths all the time as I'm out here walking, and I haven't taken some of them. Some of them loop back on themselves. Some of them are just dead ends that lead to a old blind or something. Some of them lead to other dimensions. That one there to the right leads to Point Bonnie, where Bonnie fell in the water trying to get a drink of water, and I had to rescue her. I will find that little film because I filmed it or digitized it. There's a bench out here. They've got a couple of these out here, and I figured they knew where they were placing their benches for a reason. I have not come out yet to any of the really remote stuff at night because I'm scared. But it's kind of cool too, because I do go around close to the house. And when it's a full moon, it's got that really silvery light that comes through the tall trees. It's very bewitching. And then when it's a new moon, it's so pitch dark out there that you've never seen anything like it. That looks very ancient foresty, but I don't think this is ancient here. I'll bet you that several generations ago this was
Mr. Beaver.
Farmland. I don't know. I know they cycle this part of the country like that back since early landing here. And in fact, there were two different Indian tribes that overlapped in this area, and both of the rivers are named for them. There was one of the key beaver dams right there. The Mattaponi and the Pamunkey rivers, north and south of here. Look at it, it dried up. This beaver dam used to be my big problem here because it was backing everything up from here back. It was all marsh and swamp back there. Now there's more water coming upstream. It's like the beavers have redirected the water away from their own beaver dams that were causing problems. So I think they're messing with me. That's a crafty one there. But they've got all these beaver dams where there's no more stuff to dam. You see these ones? These are definitely beaver prints. They're substantial. Is that a human finger? No. More beaver destruction. Look at how good they are about just laying these things down. They know exactly how to take a tree down so that they can use it. They are like little machines. Heidi doesn't seem to be alerting to anything, but I know that these guys are around because a lot of this activity is fresh. And this is all area I have not explored before because it was all swamp. I would alert. I couldn't get back here before. See, they have that blocked off. So, and this was just last week that this was unapproachable. I lost a shoe back here. It got sucked off my foot. I didn't come back this far. I was very sad. I had to walk back in one stocking foot, and it kept wanting to pull my sock off too. But like Daniel Boone, I survived. That's my story. This is unexplored back here, guys. You're here with me on a first. I just checked my GPS app and I am well inside the boundaries, the property lines. Everything to the right and straight ahead is in my property. The water to my left. That water to my left is the property line going up that way. You guys and your significant others need to start thinking business-wise and strategically what you see here. We need to have some conversations. Oi, Whitey, getting excited. Here, is this the, there you are, buddy. There's so many different vistas where you can build some kind of seating or platform or just plain bench there. That's the cathedral there. That's what I call that. They almost look like rays of light coming down, don't they? As I came down here, I ran into this pile and I thought that was a stash for you know who. And sure enough, with that fresh chew marks, very, very fresh. Still feel beaver spit on there. So they're fixing to do something here, beaver-wise, and then look across there. the big poles and how they're lining them up along the shore. It looked like it was the starting of early construction. I don't know if they've given up or if this is like how it goes, but this is a place I'd love to set up a camera and watch it time lapse, you know, and not disturb it. And from this point straight down there is the end of this property. That way, for this body of water. There's a body of water to the right there that's another creek that's intersecting here. That's it, right in front there. That's Dawson Swamp Creek. And that intersects with the bigger creek. I need to connect this area back to the main Central Park area. And that has not been found yet. Cathedral again. So this is the hardest to reach part of the property from the house, but some of the coolest too. And I think if I can link it back, it would be easier accessible. Maybe even by a side-by-side golf cart type of thing. This is all unknown territory, and I'm just trying to find a path, and I don't think I'm going to, so I'm going to head back to the path I came from and work my way back. Down to the bridge of no return. Gotta say, I've gotten a tick or two on me out here too, so when you guys come out, be mindful of that, especially with the kitties. I think Bonnie's getting near going on strike. I got bad news for her. Some places I don't want to lead the dogs to. But I kind of got myself into a corner here. So I got to get over there, and then they're going to follow me and be filthy. If this was the old wilderness days, I'd just make a fire and cook them. Kidding. Clyde's into this. I think he wants to be a wild animal. We'll see. Why are you looking at me like that, Bonds? Fresh. It's turkey season. I'm going to carry Bonnie for a while.